Started. Yo, 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 yes, people. We're back again, and this time it's a bit of a fun one, bit of a chilled one, a calm ranking. We're just going to look at the best Premier League midfielders of all time. As you can see, we got a star-studded cast down here, and not just in the tier list, we've also got a star-studded cast on the Discord too. I'm back with Worthy again. Say hi to the people. So going good, man. Yeah, it's good, man. So of course, we're gonna get straight into it in a second. Let's put the whole Ratcliffe fiasco behind us for a little bit and actually just dive into pure football, looking ahead to the weekend when we're actually gonna get back into the Premier League restarting. So to begin with, you know what, I'll let you do the honors, Worthy. Who do you want to put onto this list first? Yeah, okay, you want to start? That's a big one. Okay. We're going to start with Fabregas. What do you think about Cesc Fabregas in general? Before we rate him, just give me your opinion on the player, what you've seen from him throughout his career. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did retire. Yeah, he retired very recently. He actually had a stint at both Arsenal and Chelsea. He was part of the Chelsea team that did go on to win the. He was part of the Chelsea team that did go on to actually win the Premier League, as well as the Arsenal team that won the Premier League. I don't believe he was quite part of the Invincibles. He must have come in a little bit after the Invincibles. So, but in terms of overall quality, just like your dad had mentioned, he was absolutely amazing. I know this is mostly to do with the whole Premier League side of things, but even for Barcelona, the fact that he was able to play in the false nine position for Barcelona, he's played as a holding midfielder, he's played as a number 10, he's played as a more, pivot-based midfielder along with side a partner. He's played in all different parts of the midfield, and his first touch, ridiculous. Think about it. 16 years old, he made his debut for Arsenal. Not this current Arsenal who, for the past, 10 years, 10, 20, 15, 20 years, haven't won anything major. The Arsenal who were the Invincibles, the great Arsenal sides, this guy still was part of that squad at 16 years old. Arsene Wenger saw him one time in training and immediately moved him from training with the youth to immediately with the first team players. That's how good he was. And he even captained the side as a teenager, captained great Arsenal sides as a teenager. That lets you know how good this man was personally. So, of course, similar to you, I haven't been able to watch him as much when he was at Arsenal because I would have been a bit younger, but I did very much watch him at Chelsea, and he formed a great partnership with Diego Costa and Eden Hazard at the time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100 Club, there you go. A or B. Yeah. I personally, Cesc Fabregas, yeah, I would agree with that. I would go A for Cesc Fabregas. After we place these people in tier list, we'll then go on to organize the tier list in based off of who we actually think was better or worse out of the players there. You went for the first one. I'll go for the next one. By the way, we can't hear who you are speaking to. Okay. Tell me, Ahmad, are you able to hear now?
Yo, yo.
Yeah. I think some of these men were just saying that they weren't able to actually hear you. Can you hear now? Ahmad. Anyway, we'll carry on. I believe they should be able to hear you now because I just changed it. So the next player I'm going to actually go for is someone, he may play for a big rival of ours, but it's a player that I can't lie, he's one of my favorites to watch. That's going to be David Silva. That's who I want to rate next. David Silva. Yeah. So honestly speaking, this guy, he has been a thorn in Man United's side for such a long time. One of those players that is very much left-footed, but took the Premier League by storm. If you can just get his stats up, Worthy. I believe this is someone that you must have watched more. Hi there, Pogba.
Yeah, I
So
did watch David Silva.
You tell me a bit about David Silva.
He was, I would say, imagine Bernardo Silva, but he's got more of a vision, better passing, better dribbling. He's just like when I watched him when I was younger. I mean, this was probably 2016, 2017. He was phenomenal. Yeah, I always wished like somehow we could have got him or something. But yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, David Silva, he was. I remember. I don't want to actually talk about this, but I'm gonna have to. I do remember games like even the matches where we lost. Was it 6-1? We lost to Man City. The game where Rooney had the headband on and he scored a free kick, like a consolation goal when we got smoked by City. He absolutely tore us to shreds that game. I remember certain games where he was absolutely devastating. He could do it all. He wasn't very prolific in terms of goal scoring, but when he did score, he was more than capable of finishing from outside the box with a wonderful finesse shot inside the box. Very much. He actually could finish. He just wasn't someone that took a lot of shots because he was a creator first. But give him an opportunity on the edge of the box or inside the box, he was very much a ice cold finisher. But his creation and his vision, some of the passes like the reverse balls he used to play, the guy was absolutely phenomenal. Won several Premier Leagues. Do you have the stats for the number of leagues he's won and things like that?
I just looked at his stats right now: 106 assists and 60 goals in 309 games.
You see that? That's literally 160 plus GA. So one in every 2 games as a midfielder was getting you a goal or an assist, and he won several league titles. How many did he win? Maybe what, 3, 4?
I think he won 4 titles. Looking at his cups right now: 4 titles, 2 FA Cups, 1 Carabao, and I don't know what trophy that is, and he won a World Cup as well.
Maybe it was, you see, that literally tells you all you need to know. He won everything in the game, pretty much, unless outside of the Champions League, he's won everything in the game. So, David Silva, me personally, I'm putting David Silva.
Yeah, I would agree.
A or B?
I'll put B. That's the hard bit. I'll either put him A or B. That's the hard. It's between A or B.
I'm at here, for example, he's saying in his opinion that he would go A. In the comment section, let me know, where would you rank David Silva? Maybe the easier way to look at it is, compared to Cesc Fabregas, is David Silva on the same level as Fabregas in terms of his Premier League career? And to be honest, okay, so Pogba's saying B, Ahmad said A prior. Honestly speaking, if I'm putting Cesc Fabregas at A, based off of that logic, wouldn't you have to put David Silva at B? At A as well, because he actually won more Premier League titles.
He won more, yeah.
He won more Premier League titles.
Yeah, I'd put David.
You could argue maybe that Cesc Fabregas maybe was slightly better as a player, but it was very similar. You're splitting hairs. Maybe it's a difference of opinion, but he did more in the Premier League era than even Fabregas, even though they both did well. So I'm putting them at A. But of course, we'll reflect on this list, and maybe, who knows, maybe they both go down by the end of it. You don't know. So
yeah, I don't know. I think I would put A in my opinion.
I'd go A for now as well. I'd go A for now as well. But again, when we start ranking the players by tier in terms of where they rank within the tier itself, we'll change things, innit? So you tell me now, bro. You go for the next one. Your pick.
I'm gonna go to possibly my second favorite attacking midfielder of all time, Mesut Ozil. This guy in Arsenal.
This is one that's a contentious one, to be honest. Go on.
I remember his first season when Arsenal signed him.
Yeah.
The Arsenal fans were like, "Yeah, he's good, but he doesn't live up to the, the thingy to like have it." They overhyped him at first. His second season, 2015, 2016. I remember this because I used to come back from school and watch him. I would watch Arsenal because of him. he was phenomenal. 19 assists and 6 goals.
Yep.
That is just amazing. My honest, he's possibly most underrated attacking midfielders of all time.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just obviously the thing is. This is why something I always like to stress to people is do not forget that football is a team sport. Football is a team sport, and in life, the more variables you add to anything, the more chance there is of something going wrong. That's just how life works. That's why something like tennis, it's very much a lot easier to identify, for example, whether it's Federer, Djokovic, or Nadal as being your favorite or best ever tennis player in history, because it's an individual sport. It's mano a mano, man versus man. Who is the best? Who won the most trophies? Who won the most world tours? Whereas in football, you have the team around you. I would agree with what Pogba's saying here. He's saying that Mesut Ozil wasn't consistent for a very long period of time. Because the thing is, in terms of individual ability, he's as good as anyone here. However, the issue is a lot of these other guys here did it for season upon season upon season. If we were just ranking individual seasons, like you mentioned, 2015-16, Ozil could go up there as high as, who knows, A. He could go as high as A. But if you look at him, Scholes, 15 years? Frank Lampard, a decade?
Yeah.
Gerrard, a decade? Is it fair to then go and put Ozil as high as these guys?
Yeah, he fell off.
Fell off hard, man, hard.
Ever since. I believe it's, I don't know this by sure, but I think 2019 he fell off. He started falling off.
It was around then,
like badly.
Yeah, similar sort of time to when Arteta, just as Arteta was coming in, or sort of like the back end of what's that guy's name? The vampire looking Donny, Emery. After Emery, Ozil should definitely be Ahmad, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I can't lie.
His opinion is dead, man. You should see the opinions, bro. Ahmed's the opinions are dead. Like, you should see them in Discord. His opinions.
To be fair,
his opinions are completely finished.
To be fair, Ahmad, in terms of ability, I can hear putting Ozil there in terms of ability, but in terms of overall career, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Never won the Premier League. Won an FA Cup or two? Yes, assist king. Yes, some of the greatest moments, some of the greatest assist compilations. In terms of compilations, Mesut Ozil's compilations are fire compilations. But in terms of actual end product over an extended period of time, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can actually put him, because it was comparing him versus these other greats. I can't lie. But we're looking at league career, not overall career. Nah, I'm up.
I mean, he did win I swear he won a Champions League with Real Madrid.
No, but we're ranking them in terms of their Premier League career, not overall. If we're talking overall career, this guy's won a Champions League, he's won the World Cup. You're slapping him in like B or A. But for his Premier League career, Premier League all time, not all time in general, Premier League all time, bro, I am slapping this guy personally. I don't think he should be getting higher than a C.
C, yeah, fair enough. C.
I can't lie. If you're looking at B, if you're looking at putting him at B, well, convince me, man. I'm here. I'm ready to listen. Convince me why he should be in B if you want to put him there.
No, I think C's fair. I was going to say B, but then when I looked at C, I think that's fair. He wasn't consistent enough. He was good the first 2 seasons, but then he just started falling off.
yeah, exactly. So Pogba here saying you're getting violated, Ahmed. Guy's taking the piss. And then Ahmed saying C is criminal, bro. It is what it is, man. Give me, if you want to put a convincing argument for why you think he should be higher based on his Premier League career, Ahmed, bro, tell me, man, and I'll be happy to look at it. We'll be happy to look at it, man. So I'll go for the next player now. I'm gonna look at welcome TJ, how you doing, man? I'm gonna actually look at Juan Mata. I'm joking. You mad? You're mad. Okay. Juan Mata in comparison to the greats. Oh, fuck, man. This is techie still. I'm looking at... what got Mizzo, man? Been a little while, bro. I'm actually looking at putting this guy at let's see. I'll put him C. You're thinking D. Tell me why you'd put him at D. Go on.
I don't know why. He's Chelsea. See, when he was at Chelsea, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was.
Like
Player of the season for Chelsea, and I believe maybe even Premier League player of the season that season. But as in within the team of the season for the Premier League, and also he got Chelsea team of the player of the season.
Well, when I look at his, I mean, while I've watched him at United,
yeah,
he wasn't the best. He was good. The passes were good, but I don't think he was like that good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was good when he was at Chelsea. He was good at Chelsea.
He was,
but I don't know if that's because we played him in the wrong position. Because when I saw him play, he wouldn't play cam.
Yeah.
When I saw him play, he'd play at number 8.
Yeah,
sometimes
or
even
right wing.
6,
He played at the right wing a lot of the time. Remember, he was getting shifted off to the right wing even when he was getting older. Obviously, he didn't have by that point, of course, he didn't really have the legs. Yeah, you're putting someone who doesn't really have legs and is very much a natural number 10 out, shifting him out to the right wing, expecting him to run past the likes of, Gal Clichy and them physical dunnies. What were you expecting to happen? Got a man like Gal Clichy, people like Kolarov just locking him up. Or Ivanovic, people like that locking him up. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. But
when he got when he got a contract extension, I can't. I'm pretty sure he got a contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get why. There was a contract extension. He wasn't even playing that much. Like,
bro,
there was no point.
But that's the thing is, Mata's downfall and why he, for me, has to be lower on this tier list is, yes, of course, there has to be context applied. Context applied to Mata means that he went to a Man United team that were on the way down. Alex Ferguson was on his way out. You had the likes of, Alex Ferguson was already gone. So we were now within the downward spiral. Mm-hmm. His time at Chelsea was phenomenal. Won the Premier League with Chelsea. Don't know if he won the Champions League. Maybe you can tell me if he did. Maybe he won the Champions League with them, but I know for sure he won the Premier League with them. Was their player of the season before he joined Manchester United. Was phenomenal for us, I believe, in his first season with us. Then, of course, started getting played out of position. Was being played out of position constantly, and he just went downhill. How is Mata the same level as Ozil? You know what? Honestly speaking, yeah.
Put Mata down, bro.
Nah, for me, you guys in the comment section, tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Worthy, tell me if you're happy with this. But personally, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Oi, TJ, you man in the comment section, tell me. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm doing this. Am I taking the piss? Tell me in the comment section, innit?
Matt is a one-season wonder. He was good for 1 season with Chelsea.
Bro,
he was.
Pull up.
He was amazing at Chelsea.
Well, they pull up Mata stats then. Pull up Mata stats because obviously I didn't watch his entirety of his Chelsea career, more the latter end, and of course I watched all of his United career. But his United career was what? Europa League with us, League Cup. He was there when we won the FA Cup, I believe. Was he even there when we won the FA Cup?
Yeah.
He was, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, FA Cup. He was there for the Europa League. He was there for the League Cup as well. Won a couple of trophies at Man United. Won the Premier League. Gotten into some team of the seasons. Gotten the Chelsea Player of the season. But outside of that, if we're comparing him against the greats, who is he getting into this list ahead of? I'm sorry. And because of what TJ said, TJ did mention the fact that, to be honest, we are talking about someone in Mata who did actually win the Premier League. He's won some other trophies. Ability-wise, Ozil's definitely better than him. But we're ranking this off of their Premier League career and also their their Premier League career in its entirety and also their ability. So, you know what? I'm actually going to move Ozil back up because I think that's unfair because of how good the player is himself. But I'm putting it like this. I click off a comeback. Now Ozil's lower than Mata. But it should have clicked off, innit? It's your fault, bro. So, what's Mata's Premier League stats? Tell me.
I'm looking right now. So, let's go to the 2012-2013. He got 12 goals, 12 assists.
Yeah, okay, that's decent. That's okay, yeah.
Big chances created, 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't say much in the Premier League yet, so I might have to find another statistics. But all-time goals and all-time assists, if we're looking at that, if I change it to that, he's got 52 goals and 54 assists.
54 goals, 54 assists in his all-time record in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You see, I can't lie. That is kind of mediocre still, in comparison to the other greats. It's not mediocre. It's okay, but in comparison to the other greats midfielders, especially since he was a number 10, you would think his assist stats would be pushing close to the 100 mark. However, there is the United context. But as much as we can apply the context, we're in the conversation about the greats, and yes, it's not his fault that he was at a poor United side, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he didn't do much overall in his Premier League career post Chelsea. So that's...
We signed him when he was 30. When he was in his 30s, I believe.
Yeah, so honestly speaking, I'll put Mata at C, but it'll be the back end of C for me.
Sorry, 1 second, sorry. Sorry. 1 second. My bad.
Alright.
Sorry, Enigma. Yeah, sorry, my thingy. Sorry.
Okay, calm. Is it calm now? Okay. So you know what? I'm going to look at the next player. In the chat, tell me who you want to be ranked next. I'll have a look at that. I'm looking at doing... You know what, Bonnet? I'm just going to... Sounds like Mata had a hard career. He did have a hard career because of his time at Man United. Man United destroyed the guy. I might have to hop on anyway. Bro, feel free. If you want to hop on, just join the Discord chat and get on. You know what? I'm actually going to take out Xabi Alonso. We're going to look at Xabi Alonso. Worthy in the bin, TJ Win. You know what? We're going to look at Xabi Alonso. If we're talking about overall ability and overall career as a football player, my God, this guy, he has to go here. Some may even, here in terms of his overall career as a footballer and as a midfielder, he goes here. However, the thing about Xabi Alonso is we're looking solely at his Premier League career. People a lot of time love to talk about Gerrard being the only key cog in the wheel for the Liverpool team. Liverpool have made so many excuses over time talking about how poor a lot of their 11s in the Premier League era have been, which is why they've been incapable of winning the Premier League. But that is a lie. If you actually go back through the history records and look at the starting 11s of Liverpool and also look at where Liverpool were finishing and how people regarded Liverpool, everybody knew, even in the 2000s, that Liverpool were a very good team. They underperformed off their own fault, off their own back, not because they were a poor team. This is a team that had the likes of Fernando Torres, Reyes, Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, John Arisa, Pepe Reina in goal. Like, I'm sorry, don't talk to me about you have a poor team. Look at the spine. Don't tell me this is a poor team. And Xabi Alonso was very important to do with that. The night in Istanbul, which of course no United fan wants to talk about, but the night in Istanbul when these guys went on to go to win the Champions League and make the comeback, Xabi Alonso was incredible and integral to that. But of course they only speak about Gerrard. One of the best long passes in football history. Honestly speaking, he had no pace at all. The guy had no pace, wasn't the best dribbler, but he was quite press resistant, and this guy's passing range was ridiculous. You'd be hard pressed to find a long passer better than him. Won the Champions League whilst at Liverpool. Can I put him as high as these two? No, not for me in my opinion. But Xabi Alonso, I think, is a solid B. He's got to be a solid B tier for me. Tell me what you man think in the comment section about that. But Xabi Alonso gets into the B tier for me. Solid. Didn't ever win the Premier League with Liverpool, but he did win the Champions League and was overall an amazing, fantastic football player. And you know, the Champions League it weighs heavy in my opinion. And if you're comparing it to these two below, I think he's a step above. If these two are in C tier, he's got to be at least a level above. The next player I'm trying to look at now is, you know what, we'll take Kante. N'Golo Kante. We'll have a look at now. Kante is one of the best box-to-box defensive midfielders the Premier League has ever seen. In Leicester's famous season, this guy was integral along with Vardy and Mahrez into getting them all the way to the Premier League title. Of course, Tottenham had a helping hand and bottling it, which is what they always do. Arsenal slipped off, typical of Arsenal as well. But then he was amazing for Leicester. And in the following season, helped Chelsea to the Premier League again. I believe he's the only player in Premier League history to win the Premier League back-to-back with 2 different Premier League clubs. His tackling stats, you know what they used to say? That the world is 80% water. That there's 80% water and the remaining 20% of land is covered by Kante. That's what they always used to say. The guy could run for days. Obviously, at the end of his career, the back end, the injuries were always a big issue. But even when he did step onto the pitch in his latter years for Chelsea, he was always their best player in the more recent seasons. It's good, man. I just put.
Sorry, my brother took my bite. Sorry.
Nah, no worries, man. I put Xabi Alonso at B, and I was looking at Kante. You tell me where you would place Kante. I know where I'm about to place him, but tell me where you put Kante.
Instantly,
yeah.
I'd put him instantly,
Yeah, Kante for me, he's one of the easiest A tiers. The guy was absolutely phenomenal. He gets an easy A tier. Back-to-back Premier League titles with 2 different clubs. No other player's ever done that before. Tackling stats, some of the best you'll ever see in Premier League history. Won the Champions League as well. Won what? Was it 2 Premier Leagues? FA Cup, I know he's won.
Yeah.
League Cup, I know he's won. Champions League, I know he's won. We're not really looking at international careers or anything outside of their club team in the Premier League. However, just a slight nod to the fact that he did win the World Cup as well. And again, him and Pogba were that dynamic duo which helped France to that World Cup. So, guys, got to be A tier for me.
That guy had infinite stamina.
Man.
The guy had infinite stamina.
Absolutely crazy.
Infinite stamina.
Absolutely crazy.
Running up and down.
Some of the Champions League performances from this guy, I remember in the run that when Chelsea scumbagged the Champions League, the way he performed at times versus Real Madrid. For example, I remember that Real Madrid game where he absolutely dominated that midfield. Insane performance. Week in, week out, even for Leicester. The fact that he was able to leave.
As far as Chelsea sold him.
Exactly. It just shows you how much of an impact he had. That the fact that he won the league with an overall poor Leicester side outside of a few star players. And then the next year, he took a Chelsea team which weren't really doing too much in the Premier League, and then automatically galvanized them and then took them to the title. So that's an easy A for me. Of course, we did say we're going to rank them within the tier afterwards, so we'll look at Kante later on. Now, tell me, Worthy, who are you putting next into this list, and tell me where.
I'm gonna put. So that's actually. I'm gonna put probably. I'm gonna go Kevin De Bruyne.
KDB. Possibly, okay.
Yeah, Kevin. He's my favorite ever attacking midfielder. My mum took me to a Etihad game because my mum's a City fan. If you didn't know. It's quite hard. Because my mum's a City fan, my dad's a United fan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I remember my mum took me to, I sometimes regret my decision, but it is what it is, So my mum took me to an Etihad game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to go, but she paid.
I hear that, man.
And I remember, I think he was against Watford, I believe.
Was it by any chance the FA Cup final versus Watford? Was it that game, or was it just a normal game versus Watford?
No. It was a Etihad Premier League.
I remember they used to pump Watford like 5-6-0 every single time.
Yeah.
Mad. Carry on anyway.
Yeah, I was watching De Bruyne. That guy was phenomenal. His passing is unbelievable. His vision, his first touch, unbelievable. I think he got a hat-trick of assists or more. That guy, I would put him GOAT level.
You would put him as your
one of a kind.
You would put him as your Premier League GOAT midfielder.
Listen, he might be a City player.
No, it's not the whole City. We're being non-biased in it. I'm just asking. You would put him as your GOAT.
Yes, I would put him as my goat.
Yo, TJ, are you in the chat right now? Are you in the voice chat? Yo, bro, tell me what you think about your boy Worthy's GOAT status for KDB as Premier League midfielder.
I would agree with it.
You'd agree with it?
See?
Rotted!
I would.
Rah!
See, you know, I used to play attacking midfield, and I would always watch him.
Mad thing, you know. Go on, carry on. Tell me why. You guys, tell me why.
I would always watch De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to play attacking midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I would always watch De Bruyne because I don't know how he does it. His vision is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was putting him in GOAT. I mean, he's consistent. Like, I know he's been injured this season, but I think that's due to his body breaking down because he's getting older.
Yeah. But I'm not even looking at that, to be honest. I'm not looking at that. The whole injury thing. I'm not even really looking at that. Okay, so Worthy. Sorry, no, not Worthy. TJ, why would you agree with that from Worthy? Then tell me.
I just think De Bruyne is a phenomenal player.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's nothing he couldn't do. Like, he would always run back and defend. He might not be great at defending at times, but the way he was able to control the game by himself. The passing range was unbelievable. Like, he'd be whipping in crosses from everywhere. He'd be able to play any type of pass. He was Man City's best friend. He was, I think, the best player in the Premier League for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
I think he was just
yo, yes, people. You know what? Yeah, I would actually somewhat echo what you guys are saying to some extent. How quick? Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll echo what you're saying to some extent. However, I'm sorry, but are you mad? Pogba says, "Are you mad? KDB isn't even getting into my B team. You guys think KDB is on the same level as Scholes? That's what AJ says here. Okay, cool. You know what? Yeah, let me just say my own opinion on this. And yeah, okay, cool. So the thing is, if we're looking at overall ability, of course he's up there. And the thing is, well, this list is obviously to do with ability and output, and also if you put together accolades. And if you actually think about it logically, yes, KDB has all three. Ability, off the charts. Output, off the charts. Accolades, off the charts. Treble winning season, three-peat, match the three-peat. One of the Premier League all-time assisters. Scores goals, clutch assists. Some of the best crossing and passing we've seen in the Premier League era. So if you throw all these things together, you start. AJ says KDB equals cross spammer. Maybe put all these things together, yeah. You could argue it, and he's also got the longevity on his side. How many years has it been at Man City? What is it? 7, 6, 6?
I think 7.
7 years.
7. I think it's 7.
But you know what?
Yeah, 7 years.
The reason I would put him probably at somewhere the top 2 in 8 here. I wouldn't personally put him as the GOAT, just for the simple reason that I actually don't think that KDB, I think he's talented, but I don't think he's actually as well-rounded and as talented as some of the other players on this list that also can match him in terms of output and even surpass him in terms of accolades as well. Because for me, I'm very much a person that has the eye test in mind. And when I watch a player, and the player gives me a certain feeling that you can't describe, those kind of players are the ones that I believe get into your GOAT conversations along with their accolades. Because KDB, he's super efficient, arguably the most efficient player we've ever seen in the Premier League. But in terms of overall talent and his ability to just sort of, just the most difficult thing in football, for example, is to make the game look slow. Make it seem like you've got the more time than anyone else on the ball. And KDB for me doesn't do that. At times he does amazing things, but he always looks rushed or at the same level of the pace of the game. He can't just slow the game down to walking pace, then just turn it on his head and all of a sudden the game's at 100 miles an hour. And I believe there's other players in this team that can do that more, that are just overall have more ability than him, but along with the accolades and achievements. But you guys give me your opinion.
I'm gonna say something. I already know. The chat's gonna be like spamming, so they're gonna hate this opinion. Yeah, they're gonna call my opinions trash.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so You're probably gonna hate it too, but I think KDB is better than Paul Scholes. I think, in my opinion.
Yo, nah, allow it, man. No, allow it. Okay, tell me why. Yo, tell me why.
I mean, just KDB is a phenomenal player. I said it again, like he would create so many chances. When there was Jesus, yeah. This was the 2021-22. When Jesus was there, he would miss a ton of shots.
He would.
And then when he got Haaland, he had probably like 20 assists, probably like 40 assists or something in a season, one season. That guy, KDB is mad. I don't think Paul Scholes got over 20 assists a season or 10 or 15. I'm not sure, but I'll check. I'll check right now.
The thing is, though, Paul Scholes was more of a. He was very much more of a either deep line playmaker. He played different types of midfield position throughout his career. When he first broke through the academy class of '92, he was more of actually an attacking midfielder. Late runs into the box, scored a lot more goals. Then moving forward, he became more of like almost like a box to box midfielder, like more like a number 8, but a little bit further back, but more of a number 8 with a license to go forward. Then when he sort of came into the latter part of his career, sort of when around the time where he retired and came back, around that time period, the guy who came back very much as a holding midfielder, spraying passes left, spraying passes right. Literally one of the best passers we've seen in the Premier League, arguably the best. In terms of his long passing, I put him right up there with Xabi Alonso. He's the only one I'm really looking at that could match him in terms of his long passing. Probably Xabi Alonso, maybe Fabregas, and then also who would it be? Was that other guy I was thinking of? Beckham. I nearly forgot Beckham as well, in terms of his long passing ability. Just them guys. So if we're talking about we can't compare someone that his main attribute and why he's in the team is to create chances and score goals. That was never Paul Scholes' main role for the entirety of his career. He was more. It's like in fact, it's a bit easier actually to compare a Paul Scholes to maybe like a Vieira type. Even though they're still different as players, at least they're both not natural goal scorers or chance creators. KDB should be getting compared to be honest, to more like Dennis Bergkamp, if anything. If we're going to compare him to someone, he's more almost at times, he's played as a false 9 before. Whenever you seen Paul Scholes or Vieira as players a false 9. You get what I'm trying to say? He's very much has more attacking qualities than these other guys, but these guys are much better at controlling midfields. TJ, were you going to say something?
Fair enough. Still think KDB.
To be honest, to disagree.
To be honest, I can hear the KDB thing. However, I just think that some of these other guys were just vastly superior in from what I like to see from my midfielders. But that's more of like a taste thing. I can hear the KDB thing, but me personally, I'm not having it still. I can't lie. But for now, I'll put him in the out of respect to my guest, I'll put him in the GOAT category for now. But when it comes down to the real challenge, I'm gonna have to throw it to. I'm gonna have the debate again. Then we're gonna throw it to the live comments to tell me what they think. Cause TJ, you just joined, bro. Let me know who you want to see ranked next.
Let's go for Modric.
Luka. So if I just quickly read out some of these comments. So man says Mizzo says let's do Pogba next since we're talking about him. We'll do Pogba in a second. Mizzo. Someone says Worthy needs to shush. Pogba's prime over KDB. Who else agrees? Should have done a separate one for attacking midfielders because it's hard to compare. I hear it in some ways, but there'll be more videos to come anyway. Worthy getting cooked. Common Worthy L. Oh my, Worthy, people are hating on you, bro. Can't lie.
Yeah.
We should do Pogba next, Mark. That is an insane. Sage says that's an insane statement. Scholes and him aren't on the same level. Okay, we'll get into that, Sage. Now I feel bad for Worthy. Worthy is valid with his opinions. At least he backs it up, but doesn't mean he's correct. Pogba says hashtag Worthy out. Ahmad says now Worthy is known in our Discord for having dead opinions. Now you need to get this guy. He's on you still. Someone says looks like Worthy isn't worthy. Sage says lol. Ahmad is a hater for real. Okay, TJ, go on, bro. Let me know where you put Luka. just before you get into it though, if we're talking about all-time career, I'm putting everyone else can piss off and this guy's going straight into GOAT. But we're not talking about overall career, we're talking about his Premier League campaign. Tell me, bro.
Actually, maybe we should do Pogba first because
people have been talking about Pogba. Fair enough.
Pogba first.
Woo! This one's gonna piss some people off, but yo, go on, bro. TJ, tell me where you pull PP Labil. That's brazy.
I think I'd put him in B. I think.
In B tier. Okay. All right, go on, bro. Tell me why you put him in B tier.
Like, his output in games was. I think he was actually very good when he played for us.
Yeah, go on.
I think he was able to control games, and he was the big midfielder who was. Sometimes he wasn't able to control midfield because he didn't have great players around him.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was on his game, he was one of the best in the Prem. He was probably one of the best in the world at playing for us. The only thing was, he wasn't at his best a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously he was a bit of a lazy player, had arguments with managers, fell out with other players. I think if he just worked a bit harder and focused more on other things, like not just completely football and himself, I think he could have been a lot higher up.
Okay.
But I think when he rejected the contract, I think it was a really bad decision from him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so of course
Are we talking about Modric?
No, we're talking about Pogba.
Oh, Pogba.
Yeah, so of course, well, I said it before that we were looking at, let's do for Pogba. Okay, you know what? Let me put in the poll in a second. Remember Worthy's Todibo obsession. Does he have a Todibo obsession?
Oh, he does, absolutely.
Yeah, it was in the summer. I couldn't stop talking about him.
Todibo, man,
and he wasn't even good. Not good. Maguire's better than Todibo.
Nah, come on, man.
See, I told you this guy's dead opinions. I once threatened I'd kick him out if he says that one more time.
That's crazy.
That's abuse of power, like that's the type of person we're dealing with here.
Man said abuse of power.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna, okay. I fucked up. I put Paul Pogba instead of Paul Pogba. I don't matter. Man says Pogba left toenail over KDB. Taking a piss. Anyway, I was saying that this tier, obviously how we rank the players is going to be based off their overall ability, their accolades, and of course their longevity and their accolades, their overall ability as well. So cool. And obviously their longevity too. In terms of ability, Pogba, for me, actually goes into GOAT. If we're looking at just ability, Pogba for me is GOAT. I think he is actually the most talented of any player that's on this list. Would you guys agree with that? I'm talking about raw natural talent.
No, that's shocking.
You wouldn't agree, yo. Who on this list has more? Okay, so in terms of attributes, you could literally put like we would call sort of like a diagram that has different sliders of every single attribute required as a footballer, like on the physical side and technical side of things. Pogba, what player do you think in terms of complete stats? Let's say each stat is out of 100. 100 for strength, 100 for speed, whatever. 100 for ball control, passing, short pass, long pass, all these stuff. What player on this list do you think has more of these stats in terms of if you were to combine the total stats would have more than Paul Pogba?
On the list so far, or the
the entire list, what player has more in all these stats combined? So more, like if we're combining strength, speed, ball control, touch, dribbling ability, short pass, long pass, vision, like everything that encompasses being a football player, even on the defensive side, more than Pogba if you add all these stats combined.
I mean,
Yaya Toure.
Yaya Toure, I hear it. Yaya Toure is the one that, and Vieira are the ones that come closest to me in terms of just ability to do everything on the pitch. However, for me, Pogba's passing ability is better than both of them. Shooting wise, Yaya Toure is a better shooter of the ball, but Pogba's technical ability in terms of his ability to pass and dribble is higher than Yaya Touré's. I say Yaya Touré is a little bit more physical.
No, I was actually watching. I saw clips of Yaya Touré the other day. It was on like the Man City Twitter or whatever, and he was hitting these shots in from 30, 35 yards, and he was just.
Do you say Yaya Touré?
It was like a free kick. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever watch Yaya Touré, TJ?
He was just walking up game, and he would just score from 30 yards. But like it looked effortless to him.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking. Don't get me wrong, yeah. I think you'll see where I put Yaya Touré. Yaya Touré is insane, but I'm talking about just ability overall in all categories. Yes, because I already admitted anyway that I know that Yaya Touré is definitely a better shot, and you're talking about his shot technique. You know, for example, his ability to hit a long shot is definitely higher. But in terms of long and short passing and sort of those intricate passes, those little chips, those like reverse balls, those little off the cuff passes, maybe nutmeg, like put the ball in between someone's legs to feed it to a striker who's being marked, sort of thing. Pogba's much better at that than someone like a Yaya Touré, whilst being able to compete with him physically. That's why I think if we're talking about talent, I think Pogba probably is one of the most talented midfielders of all time. Did he ever do enough in his career? No, but then that's why we have to talk about accolades and achievement.
If he had a better attitude,
exactly. That's why we have to talk about. If he
had the right mentality,
yeah,
he'd probably want to be one of the best midfielders right now.
But you could argue though, if what would have happened, if let's say there was a midfield of, instead of coming to Man United, he had played with Fernandinho, De Bruyne, and Pogba. Then after that, you go to Rodri, Pogba, and De Bruyne. I'm sorry. Do you really think we'd be putting Pogba right down here or wherever we're going to end up putting him? Think about it. He is as low as we're going to put him because of Man United tax. Yes, he could have done more himself, but let's call a spade a spade. If he went to Man City and was playing alongside De Bruyne and Fernandinho under Pep, I reckon he would have been no less than an 8 tier for his Premier League career. He would have won several Premier Leagues, the Champions League, the whole bang, along with being the best midfielder on the pitch most games.
I'm putting... personally, I would put him C.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But if we're looking at his Premier League career, what a Europa League, team of the season 1 year, Man United playing the season 1 year, what top scored and assisted us 1 year as well. Europa League, League Cup. Was that it? That might be it. Fucking hell, mate. It's looking peak, mate. Obviously, he not World Cup, but not looking at that too much anyway. Would you put him above Mata in C tier? Lower than Mata?
Nah.
For his Premier League career? Probably lower. Yo, it's peak, you know? Yeah. It's peak out here, people. It's peak.
I think C is a bit harsh.
So you throw him in. So you maybe throw him in B and B.
I would put him in B, yeah.
And then okay, let me have a look at that poll then. Let me see where. So you were saying C, right? Worthy.
Worthy said C.
And then you said B, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, majority Pogba don't deserve goal. Keep him at A. Sage is saying A. Let me just read what other people are saying. So the poll is actually saying 43% of people saying B. So I'll go with B just because the majority voted. But I think people are going to be upset about that. We'll look at things at the end again. We'll just quickly look at the comment section. Pogba season, no surprise here. He says put Pogba GOAT. Why am I not surprised? Ask TJ if he thinks Pogba's better than Ozil. What do you think?
Whoa,
it's fucking hard, that one, but...
Well, I actually think technically Ozil was a lot better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Ozil's technique is just stupid, honestly.
I mean, he was so effortless in the way he just passed the ball. And he got moves going and he was able to control it a lot. I think Pogba overall was a bit of a better player.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, technically speaking... Technique, I think Ozil was probably better than Pogba.
Ozil's somewhat unmatched in terms of technique. That level of technique, especially in his best moments in the Premier League or Real Madrid, if you're not seeing that, man, it's disgusting, to be honest. Man, so Ahmad says, nah, how have man picked A? Don't you dare put Pogba B or lower. I picked C. Ahmad has to be D for Pogba. Don't you dare put Pogba A, B, C or D. Yo, Pogba, relax, man. Pogba season, relax. I don't know Pogba ain't GOAT, to be honest. AJ says very controversial, I can't lie. Ahmad, Ozil, KDB, Silva have more talent. Huh? It's debatable, but I wouldn't agree with that. Glazing, yeah. Pogba, you need to relax. Stop glazing, man. UDR, uncontrollable dick riding from Pogba's season. That's funny. Okay, yeah. There's peak. We'll just leave him at B for now, but who wants to take the next one? Are we still gonna do, are we just gonna do we'll just do Modric then, TJ. You tell me about Modric, since we were gonna do that before.
I actually didn't. I never actually saw a whole lot of Modric when he played in the Prem, because I wasn't actually I wasn't old. That wasn't that old.
That was a while ago.
So, but whenever you'd see clips, and I'm sure, but I don't think he was absolutely unreal for Spurs.
He wasn't.
I think he was good for them.
But
then he really peaked when he went to Madrid.
Yeah.
So based off his Spurs, I couldn't really tell you, because I wouldn't fully know. I'd only see a few clips, but that could be deceiving, because you could get a few clips of Harry Maguire looking like a world-class player.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can.
Worthy, are you able to get up Modric's stats for his time in the Premier League for Tottenham?
All right.
Yeah, see if you can find something. But Modric is a difficult one, because, like I said, if we're talking about overall career, he literally takes a dump on almost everyone on this list. Of course. However, if we're talking about his Tottenham time, he did actually play for a very good Tottenham side. Did he win anything? I think he actually may have won the League Cup for Tottenham. He may have been there during the time where they actually won a League Cup, because I know that there was a time period in the sort of later part of the mid-2000s that he actually won something. That was the last time Tottenham won something at all. So I think he was part of that team, along with the likes of Dimitar Berbatov. He may have been there. No, Michael Carrick would have left already. So Dimitar Berbatov, that team, Kevin Prince Boateng, that sort of team. It was an alright team that was part of, but nothing special. Go on, what were you gonna say?
I got statistics.
Yeah.
Statistics. So I haven't watched Modric. I was young as well. I think I watched a bit of him. I didn't watch him, but his statistics here are awful. 13 goals, 15 assists in 127 appearances.
The only thing I would say is, to be fair, Modric has never been a prolific goal and assist creator. He's more of the pass before the pass. He's more of a ball carrier, tempo controller. Overall technical ability, of course, we know Modric is one of the best on this list as well. Didn't do much for Tottenham. Tottenham, and you're not going to win anything at Tottenham. Let's be serious. If that version of Modric from back then was in the Man United team of the 2000s, he would have won Premier League with us. It would have been amazing. So it's Tottenham tax at the end of the day, but wasn't here for that long.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Real Madrid signed him, I'm pretty sure weren't Real Madrid fans.
Yes, I was going to get into that. Exactly. On the first season that came, they were calling him a flop just after the first season. They were saying he flopped.
Yeah. And
then obviously we know what he went on to do. So he very much developed at an insane rate in the latter part of his career. So getting into his mid to late 20s, he just hit his stride and just killed it, never looked back. But in terms of his Premier League career, he can't be on the same level as even like a Mata or an Ozil. I'd put him at D. Where would you guys put Modric?
Yeah, D's fair.
Yeah, I think D's alright for him. Like I said though, just in case people think that I'm moving mad, if this was overall career, he'd be in GOAT for me compared to the other people here, but it's not, so no. So Worthy, you could take the next one, bro. Who do you want to put next?
Ooh. Let me look at the options. I think I'm gonna go with Yaya Toure. I'm gonna go with Yaya Toure. I think my opinion, Yaya Toure. Honestly, he was phenomenal, man. He was. I think I would put him GOAT. He was.
Wait, I thought you wanted to put. Wait, I swear you wanted to put KDB GOAT. Now you want to put Yaya Toure GOAT.
Wait, can I put more than one GOAT?
Now GOAT's for one, and then everyone else gets ranked in A tier.
Oh, Okay. All right. I'll put Yaya Toure A, but
A tier.
Yaya Toure, his shot power, insane. Himself, he was insane. Like I remember watching him, he would score phenomenal goals. He would score from literally like the halfway line.
Yeah,
He'd score from there.
yeah.
His shot power was phenomenal.
He's one of them. He was also a set piece specialist. The guy could score like long range free kicks. The guy took penalties. Before Man City became shit at penalties, actually had Toure who would take their penalties and score them. He was phenomenal. He'd be able to. If we're talking about dominating a midfield, I'd say part of the reason why Pogba got criticism at times was because we had watched Yaya Toure in the Premier League and the way he was able to run through an opponent's midfield, and they wanted Pogba to constantly be able to do what Yaya Toure is doing, because he does have the quality and also the physicality to be able to run through an opposition's team midfield in the way Toure did. But he was just so explosive. He'd run through. You got one man on his left hand side, the other man on his right hand side. He's holding them both back together, just nudging them both off the ball, and he'll slap it in to the top corner from like 30 yards out, 25 yards out, slap into the top corner every single time. Free kicks everywhere, everything. Every type of goal off the volley. We're not really talking about over a career, but even his time at Barcelona, as much as he was played out of position a lot of times, he was phenomenal in many times for Barcelona. His passing range was amazing. It wasn't to the level of some of these other guys like the Fabregases, Silvas, even the Pogba, Xabi Alonso, but his passing range was very good. So yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, for the younger fans, I would describe him as a better Scott McTominay, literally a whole another level of Scott McTominay.
I get what you're trying to say with that. But please, I beg you, never say Scott McTominay and Yaya Toure in the same sentence.
Wait, who?
He says he.
Yaya Toure.
I'm not comparing him to Scott McTominay, TJ. Calm yourself.
You can't have them in the same sentence.
Yeah,
I'm saying Scott McTominay is almost like him. He's got shot power.
Scott McTominay.
He's a worse version. He's a worse version. It's like
this guy took this guy
like 1%.
You took McTominay's goal versus Brentford a bit too seriously, innit? That man's put him into.
Just McTominay's shot power is insane. Like his shot, insane.
Nah, bro. I could just, you know what? If I literally go to sleep, close my eyes, and somehow, some way visualize what you're trying to get at, but it is ludicrous, bro. Let's call a spade, yeah. Look,
I'm not.
No. Don't get me wrong. I fully know you're not comparing them, but I think that Scott McTominay is just so far removed from Yaya Toure that even trying to somewhat, I actually get what you're trying to say, but he's just so far off. It would be better if you try to use a better name to compare than Scott McTominay. It's just that it's the Scott McTominay factor. But I do get what you mean though, because you know what the thing is, Yaya Toure, if you have the stats, I believe there was a season where, I think from midfield he's been able to get over 30 GA for Man City before in a season. I believe there's seasons like that where he just got bag of goals, bag of assists. How many Premier Leagues did this guy even get? Like 3, probably? Something like that?
Yeah, 3.
3 Premier Leagues.
I think it was 3.
3, maybe 2 or 3 Premier Leagues, something like that. So won several Premier Leagues, of course, won FA Cups, would have won League Cups with us. What am I saying with us? With Man City. Bags of goals, bags of assists. Overall ability was absolutely insane, bro. He's getting A tier for me still.
The 2013-2014 season.
Yeah.
I think I remember. I think I've watched that season. I think I did. Yeah. He got 20 goals.
20 goals from midfield as well.
20 goals for a midfielder.
Exactly, man. That tells you all you need to know.
What season did McTominay get 20 goals in?
I'm not comparing him to Yaya Toure.
Guys, mocking it, man.
I'm saying that Scott McTominay plays almost like Yaya Toure, but he's not. He's probably less than 1% than Yaya Toure.
How does McTominay nearly play like Yaya Toure?
Because they both got good shot power. They're not the best at defending.
Can I nearly play like Pele? If I score a few goals, I nearly Pele.
I'm saying they both play like each other. I'm not saying they're the same level. Scott McTominay is probably like 100 levels beneath, probably even more than that. But
then how is he nearly the same?
They play the same, basically. They're almost similar.
No, but if he's 100 levels below, he's not he's not.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, bro. Because
I don't know what you mean. I actually don't know.
Yeah, man. Worthy and TJ always cooking each other, man. But I can't lie, I can't defend you on that one, Worthy. Still, I get what you're trying to say, but it's just peak. But we're gonna go on to the next man here. Still, I'll do the next one myself, and we're gonna look at. You know what? Let's get an easy one out of the way real quick. Let's just look at Christian Eriksen's Premier League career. This is a pretty easy one for me, quite frankly. I know where I'm gonna put him. I'm putting Christian Eriksen in D tier compared to the greats. What would you guys say?
Say D or B?
D tier. Man said, not B. If not B.
D tier?
D tier, yeah.
I think that's a bit disrespectful.
You think?
No, I'll put him B.
What?
B?
Did you say B?
What? Nah, man.
Yeah,
nah.
Relax yourself.
You should not
relax.
This guy has to be kicked off the channel. Now he's called
Relax, man.
B,
come on, you can't do that.
David Silva, Yaya Toure, and he's just tried to compare Yaya Toure to Scott McTominay.
I would put Eriksen at B, not D. I think he's the same level as Xabi Alonso.
That is disgusting.
Now, I'm convinced none of you have watched Spurs play. Back in the thingy.
The thingy.
I don't think any of you have watched Prime Eriksen.
Bro.
My God, cooked up the Premier League.
Did you not watch Prime David Silva or Prime Kante, no?
I know. Listen. Eriksen, he's still quality, though. Like, you can't put him in D. Like,
you know what, yeah. It's not even about...
We can't put him in A.
I didn't say put him in A. I said put him in B.
Yeah, but Pogba is in B. Xabi Alonso is in B.
All right, did Pogba get literally? All right, do you want me to read the stats out for you?
Bro, tell me, give me the stats. Stat merchant. Stat merchant, bro. Give me the stats.
All right, 2015, 2016, 13 goals, 6 goals, 13 assists, 6 goals. 2016, 2017, 8 goals and 15 assists.
Okay.
2017, 2018, 10 goals and 10 assists. 2018, 2019, 8 goals and 12 assists. My goal was consistent for around 5 seasons, I would say.
Okay.
Like, you can't just disrespect him like that. He's been consistent for 10 seasons. He was phenomenal at Spurs, in my opinion. Like, when I watched Spurs, he would highlight them. The amount of chances he created, especially when Kane and Son were there. The amount of chances created. I mean, you don't can put him in D, but I think, in my opinion, I would put him in B tier.
All right, TJ, what would you say in response to the opinion of Worthy, which was to put him in B tier? Why would you not do the same thing and instead put him in D tier?
Because it's just not comparable. Like, you can't, like, if you asked any football fan, would you rather Xabi Alonso or Christian Eriksen, what are they going to say? They're not going to say. They're not going to say give me Christian Eriksen. They're not.
You're not going.
They just won't.
2 different positions, TJ.
Okay. So then.
Xabi Alonso played a CDM.
Okay, so then let's.
And Eriksen played a cab.
And then Worthy, let's break it. Let's break it down simply. Okay, in terms of Premier League careers, yeah, are you taking Mata's Premier League career or Eriksen's Premier League career?
I mean, Mata's career, obviously, but
okay,
Eriksen, you can't ignore Eriksen.
No, I'm not ignoring anything, but we're ranking the grades, so obviously there's got to be some stipulation. So the next one, quickly, Eriksen versus Ozil's career in the Premier League.
You're meant to answer here, Wordy.
Eriksen, his career, Ozil's career.
I'm tempted to say Eriksen, but just because Ozil won, 2 FA Cups. I mean, if you look at Eriksen, he got into so many finals. He got into Champions League final. He got into.
Okay, but then do the greats not win? Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. There you go. Do the greats not go out there and stamp their authority on these finals? Yes, Modric is in here in the detail for his Tottenham career, but in terms of his career and why he would be GOAT for me, into one of the GOATs of all time in midfield, is because big performances in big games in cup runs. Some of the Champions League performances, guy, versus, I believe, was it Chelsea, that last minute outside curve pass that he played to Rodrigo and he scored versus Chelsea in that game to help them eventually get to the Champions League final. I don't know if it was Chelsea they played in that match or no, it was Man City. Sorry, it was Man City. Was it Man City or Chelsea? It was either Man City or Chelsea.
It was Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. So that ball he played, clutch moments. Some of the clutch moments he's had in the World Cup. Yes, Croatia never won in the end, but you can, at least in that scenario, you can say this Croatia is far inferior a lot of times to some of the teams they play against. But some of his World Cup performances, but Christian Eriksen, where was he when these guys were getting pumped by Liverpool? A Liverpool team that underperformed on the day as well. Where was he?
I mean, fair enough, but I think if you put Eriksen, prime Eriksen, I don't know, in say in a Man City team, ignore KDB, say put prime Eriksen with Haaland, I think you'd get 25 assists in the Prem or more.
No, I don't think so.
Because he played with Harry Kane.
I mean, prime Eriksen got 15 assists with the
KDB runs all over the pitch. KDB is left wing at times. He goes to right wing at times. He's crossing.
Yeah, but so did Eriksen before he got that heart attack.
Eriksen sits in the middle
he played. Well, yeah, we haven't watched Tottenham yet, but Eriksen did have stamina before before he had a heart attack when he was against Denmark. But it's your opinion, but I think I'd put Eriksen either B or C, but I would put him B.
Well, I think C. I think C is a very fair analysis.
So you would put Eriksen in C then, yeah?
Yeah.
Modric. So AJ says okay. So you put him in C. Where would you put him then, Worthy?
I'll put him either B or C.
B or C.
I'm more leaning to a B.
Okay, so if I just let me look through the comment sections, and then we'll maybe put this one to the comment section, because me personally, I would have him in D tier compared to some of these other GOATs. But let me read through. So AJ saying here, Modric is GOAT tier, Ballon d'Or equals GOAT, bro. That was his Real Madrid career. Like I said to you already, AJ, Modric would be here. Everyone else can F off into A tier or lower. But bro, nah. For Tottenham career, he didn't do too much. Modric was what was expected. Don't think he had a bad game. But think about him. We're comparing him versus the other greats in terms of the random midfielders in the Premier League. Even the fact that he wasn't exactly GOAT status at Tottenham, Modric. However, he was better than flipping Scott Parker. So that's not. We're not comparing him to Kevin Nolan and Scott Parker. We're comparing him to bloody Mata and Özil and Xabi Alonso. For Spurs, I wouldn't know. I was like, yeah. Modric was like that smart Asian in maths class, except on a football pitch. What the fuck? Okay, Sage. Sage says the streets will never forget Yaya Toure. He was fun to watch. Facts. Wait, he's a McTominay fan, bro. These man think you're a McTominay fan. You know, it's peak. Worthy game.
No, I hate McTominay.
Well, no, it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it. Comparing him to Yaya Toure.
Eriksen.
I'm not comparing him. They're just very similar.
Eriksen is
good.
That's comparing them.
So AJ says Eriksen is a C. Worthy zero ball knowledge. Amma says D. I think Worthy is a bit young. Eriksen is a C. Let's say. Nah, Eriksen's not a B. Eriksen is not a B, my boy. Eriksen is B. I mean C. We need to compare it to the GOATs in the top two. So Eriksen for me is a C. Worthy's a clown. We nearly forgot it was a Prem career for Modric. Cool. So yeah, Eriksen, I'll put, because of the general consensus, I'll put him in C. The next one will go to Worthy. Who do you want to put as your next player, bro?
Let me check the list. Let me look at the list.
Yeah, go on. Have a look.
McTominay next.
Guys taking the piss, man. Allow it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put SEN.
Go on. Where you putting SEN, man?
I'm gonna put SEN. I would say B is fair.
Ooh,
B is fair.
Yeah, I was gonna.
B or C. B or C.
Okay.
B or C.
Go on, tell me why, bro. Tell me.
I'll put B. I think B is fair.
Tell me why, bro.
I mean, I was young when I watched SEN, but he was decent. I think I remember. He was decent. He was good at defending.
Would you think he was? Would you think he was better than McTominay?
He's not gonna.
This guy's taking the piss.
He's not gonna leave you on that one. Carry on, bro. Carry on.
I'll put B. Think B is fair. Yeah.
B is fair. Okay.
I haven't watched much of him, but I mean, the thing is, I haven't watched much of him, so I'm gonna base on FIFA stats. He looks good, so I'm gonna.
Man said
I haven't watched much of him. I barely watched any of it, but based on FIFA stats, I'll say yeah. FIFA stats. I'll trust FIFA stats. But
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if I give you guys an idea of Essien's stats in the Premier League right here, right now. So 168 appearances, 17 goals. You see this, 113 wins out of 168 appearances. So if we look at his obviously goal tally and stuff, I'm not really looking at that. That doesn't matter much at all to me, because at the end of the day, this guy was very much a defensive midfielder, CDM position, a bit box to box as well. So if I look at Honours 1, I believe he won the Premier League. 1 second. Premier League. Let me just find this for you guys. Okay, so he won 2 Premier Leagues, 2006 and 2010, and 3 FA Cups. Mark Essien, so 3 FA Cups and 2 Premier Leagues. And of course, he had a lot of great Champions League performances. I believe I know there was the whole thing where they got scumbagged in the Champions League by Barcelona, but we don't talk about that. Certain men are getting reported by their governing bodies and they've got fines to pay. We're talking about UEFA Lona here. So we don't talk about the Champions League night that they got scumbagged. But Michael Essien was a phenomenal central defensive midfielder, tackling for days, energy for days, could shoot from range. He was just a machine. I wouldn't put him on the same level of some of these other guys. Like, I actually do think Kante was better. They're not exactly the same type of player, but he's better going forward. But Kante, what he's good at, he's arguably the best we've ever seen at. So I put him there. But Chelsea career, 3 FA Cups, 2 Premier Leagues. He's got to be in B tier and above these other 2, which would be Xabi Alonso and Pogba for me as well. What are you thinking on it, TJ? Where would you have put Essien?
I think I'd put him in C or B. I didn't see much of him, but my dad always tells me how much of a great player he was. My dad's a diehard Arsenal fan. Like, he says he was an unbelievable player who anyone would have wanted in their team at the time.
Essien is one of the best. Okay, cool. Next player that I'm going to take out myself. Going to take out a big one right now. Where are we putting our best ever Premier League era captain? McTominay, yeah. Roy Keane. Where are we putting Roy Keane, people?
A.
A tier for Roy Keane.
I think it would have to be gold.
You would put Roy Keane in GOAT tier?
Nah, that's too far. GOAT is too far.
No, I don't think it is. I think he's the greatest ever captain.
Okay.
And you could argue he's actually one of our best ever players. He was the standard set.
You know, the thing is, there's a common misconception that Roy Keane was just this CDM, sort of in the mold of a just one of those hatchet men in midfield that goes around kicking people, drawing fouls to break a play, then moving the ball sideways and backwards. You know, one of them hatchet men in midfield, those shit man. The thing is, people don't realize that Roy Keane could actually play ball. They just hear his football opinions nowadays and see how he talks, and then think he was just some thug. But he wasn't just some thug. The guy could play football, like actually play football proper, and he's one of the best midfielders the Premier League's ever seen. As you say, TJ, he is the best, arguably, debatably, but I'd say most likely you'd say he's the best ever Premier League captain. And if we talk about the accolades as well, I'll just bring it up now. Just bring that up now. He's ended his career with 1 Champions League, 7 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, Footballer of the Year and Players Player of the Year in the year 2000 as well. So this is a guy that has got trophies oozing out of every pore of his body. Big performances, for example, versus Juventus. The man knew that he was going to miss the final. He still said, you know what? I'm going to take this yellow card and I'm going to play on the yellow card like my life depends on it. I won't get sent off and I'm just going to absolutely put in a masterclass to ensure my team get to the final, giving us a shot versus Bayern Munich. Absolute masterclass of putting in that final. So this guy, yeah, honestly, but having said that, I don't know about the whole GOAT status thing. I can't lie. That might be pushing it, but convince me. TJ, why?
I think he was actually, like, as you were saying, people think he was just this captain who shouted at everyone. He wasn't even a great player himself. Like, he was, if you can find, like, he scored a good few goals for where he did play. Like, but he was the CDM, but he was the midfield. He was the midfield. He was everywhere. And yeah, he would occasionally break people up.
Yeah, like, do you mean like a Alvinda Haaland?
Completely. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But if anyone was slacking off, he'd be right on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like when Harry Maguire does it, when he's playing absolutely shit, and then he gives up to someone else for a bad pass. I mean, if Roy Keane was playing bad, he'd probably go and kill someone with a tackle. They'd probably have a broken leg or something.
He'd do something to get the crowd
aggressive.
up. Yeah.
Good thing. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't afraid of the yellow card. And, you know, there were times he probably nearly tackled referees. But I think he was just the standard setter. And I think if we had someone like him in the dressing room now, I think we'd be in a very different place.
Oh, 100%.
I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine him in the dressing room with like Jesse Lingard or Jadon Sancho. I think he'd kill them.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yeah. He would have put someone in a headlock every post game after the game pumped by 7-0 by Liverpool. He would have had 2 men in a headlock or a rear naked choke in the dressing room. I'll tell you that right now. That's a fact. Headbutting man in the changing room. Speak. But yeah, TJ, where would you have put him? Sorry, not TJ, Worthy. Where would you have placed Roy Keane?
A. I think A's fair.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards putting him in the A tier as well. I can hear the GOAT status, but for me, I've got my own GOAT I'm placing. So your GOAT that you want is Roy Keane, right, Worthy? Sorry, not Worthy, TJ. You wanted him in GOAT, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then TJ was Worthy was looking at having De Bruyne in GOAT. So you know what? At the very end, we'll just throw it to the comment section to pick out the GOATs that we've placed. But for now, I'll put Roy Keane in A as well.
Actually, put him in GOAT as well, and then we're gonna put in like the comments vote. Who should be the only GOAT? And then we'll just move them around.
Then we'll move them around at the end. Yep. Yeah. Next player we're gonna look at now. You know what? I'm just gonna take out another big one. Spice things up a little bit. Frank Lampard.
Yeah, just put him in GOAT instantly.
Ay caramba!
Nah, man, this guy needs to be banned off this channel.
Bro, this is Frank Lampard, a stat merchant's wet dream. Hey, that's facts, though.
I mean, all right, let's look at his stats. Let's look at his stats.
Go on, that's what I said, a stat merchant's wet dream. I knew he'd go straight to the stats.
What's about stats for midfielders? I don't understand this.
I knew he'd go straight to stats when we're talking about Frank Lampard.
He was a pretty big stat merchant.
He very much was a stat merchant, the best.
I mean, 177 assists. And, no, to be fair, he did play 609 games.
Yeah.
Ooh. I didn't. To be honest, I only watched Lampard when he was at City.
He
didn't really impress me.
So very much the back end of his career.
I was young. I did watch him when he was Chelsea, didn't I? I saw him when he was at Man City.
Yeah, to be fair, you would.
Can we actually create a McTominay graphic? Because I want McTominay to get in on this list somewhere.
Nah, bro.
I didn't say McTominay.
Nah, allow that guy still.
I think we should. I think I'd love to hear what word he would say about McTominay and where he'd put him.
No, I was saying Frank Lampard. Yeah, I only watched him at City at 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched him at Chelsea, so I wouldn't judge. I'm just based on Chelsea fans.
If we talk about Frank Lampard, I'd say he was
possibly.
I would call him sort of an upgraded version of Thomas Muller. If you guys trying to kind of get what I'm trying to get at with that. So someone who, because they have that phrase in German football that was coined for Thomas Muller, which is a Raumdeuter, which just translates to a space finder, which is how they call Thomas Muller. His ability to find space in the box to, find an angle to work a shot. His positioning was as good as any striker you see. His ability to make third man runs off the back of midfielders or defenders not watch him get into their blind side and just stroll into the box and finish. Could shoot from distance. But where I say he's an upgrade on Muller is his ability to actually, he had a better passing range, particularly long. The long game was better than what Thomas Muller can do. Thomas Muller's, he's decent on the short game, but he can't pass the way Lampard could. So, but the thing is, there's so many players on this list that are just far and away more technically superior to Frank Lampard. De Bruyne, he doesn't even, just outstrips him technically. Yaya Toure does. Cesc Fabregas, David Silva. Kante is very much a different player, and in terms of, I'd say Kante is better at his role than Lampard is at his role. Xabi Alonso outstrips him technically, Paul Pogba, but then at the same time, you have to look at achievements, and their output is also important at the same time, which is what elevates Frank Lampard, in my opinion, to this conversation. If he didn't have the goal return that he has in the assist return, he wouldn't be in this conversation, because I don't think he actually has the ability to match a lot of these other guys in the A and B tiers. If you get what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, the actual goal tally for midfielder is so incredible. I can't put him any lower. I'd put him in the A tier, but maybe the higher end of A tier. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll put him A. Yeah.
Cool. General consensus on that, then that's fine. Who next player worthy, who do you want on the list next?
Patrick Vieira. I'll put him. I've never watched him, but based on my dad and Arsenal fans, they said he was incredible. He was based on them. So
you know what? People tend to actually believe that Patrick Vieira was CDM. But the thing about Patrick Vieira was he's actually very much a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
Box-to-box midfielders. I actually recently did a comp on my channel for Dennis Bergkamp. And if you watch that video, you realize actually how many late runs, third man runs he made into the box. And Bergkamp was actually providing Vieira with a lot of assists. And he's actually very good at chipping the goalkeeper, lofting the goalkeeper with first-time finishes, which is something you wouldn't attribute to a CDM. He went beyond Bergkamp, who played in the false 9 or number 10 position. That tells you how far forward he got. So he could do it all on the pitch. Defensively, absolutely a monster. That was about 6'4", long ass legs, break up play for days. Drive the ball through midfield with just absolute power, similar in the mode to what Yaya Toure could do. Could finish as well. Just everything in the air, dominant as anything. Just absolute midfield destroyer. I remember even there was a comment from Roy Keane, I think he even mentioned one time after their career, because they were always compared to each other, Roy Keane and Vieira. And I think he did at one point concede at the end of his career when he was interviewed, now that he's a pundit. I think he considered that Vieira was better than him. I believe there was a quote from Roy Keane saying that either that Roy Keane was better than him, or Roy Keane would have won if they had fought, because they had mentioned something like that. It was one of the two things. But to be able to contest with a midfield of the likes of Roy Keane and Paul Scholes, he can't be any lower than A. And you know what? He's pushing GOAT tier, to be honest, with how good he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, yeah.
Could you put him I think it might. I'd put him near GOAT. Yeah, probably near GOAT.
And if
See, it's between GOAT or A.
100%. There's a in terms of what was I gonna say, his actual accolades in the Premier League, he would have obviously won the Premier League being invincible, won a series of FA Cups as well. So if we're talking about overall achievements, I mean, being an invincible, that tells you all you need to know about how good he was. And of course, he would have been very much a part of the defensive unit that would have been able to keep them in games to become invincible. So yeah, he was insane. So yeah, I'm happy with A. Again, just before the end, we'll quickly organize our tier lists. But TJ, who are you looking to rank next?
Gerrard.
Bloody hell. Okay. Where would you put this guy? Where would you put the Slippy G?
I think I'd put him at the very first in A.
Yeah, I hear that.
If I didn't have Roy Keane and goal, I probably would have put Gerrard there, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear it. Gerrard's the one person I can definitely hear it.
I think Gerrard was definitely the best of himself, Scholes, and Lampard. I think he was.
Really?
I think he controlled matches like just easily, and he was able, like, his technique. I love, like, the volleys he was able to do.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't contribute to his overall game, but it was just the way he struck a ball was just so aesthetically pleasing to watch. Like, I think he was just a brilliant player. Could pass it from anywhere, shoot from anywhere. He could do anything.
He had the clutch performances as well. As if you think about Istanbul, which Liverpool fans never stop talking about, of course.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He was a great player.
He was a phenomenal player, and got people clowning him on the Slippy G moment, and best believe I'll never forget that. But putting that to one side, yeah, the amount of goals he scored, did never win a Premier League actually. So are we not taking that into consideration? He never won the Premier League. Of course, he won the Champions League, but he never did win the Premier League. These guys, everyone else you see in the A tier, everyone else you see in this tier won the Premier League. Does that change anything now if we're going to highlight that point? Because remember, we are taking into consideration their accolades, of course. Because before you came on, TJ, and I think during this time, Worthy wasn't actually on. Yeah, he wasn't on because I think he went off temporarily. But I was just mentioning the fact that people like to downplay how good some of the Liverpool teams were in the Premier League era. Yes, were they as good as the 70s or 80s teams? No, they weren't. Cool. I can appreciate that. However, let's not act like Fernando Torres, Steven Gerrard, Reyes, Xabi Alonso, John Arisa, Pepe Reina, players like this aren't a good spine. Let's not act like this isn't a spine. If you go back to what people were saying back then and from what I heard at the time and what I saw at the time, people were talking about Liverpool as always being in contention for being in the Champions League positions. Back then, there were so many good teams. Arsenal was still good, Man United was still good, Chelsea were on the rise, Liverpool were good. People were always thinking that, obviously people thought Man United would win, but in terms of in contention, Liverpool was always one of the names being in contention for at least getting a Champions League position. They were not a poor team. People like to act as if they were. Liverpool fans like to push that narrative, but it's a lie. He had good players in that team. He had people like Fernando Torres to aim at. I'm sorry, but they could have done a lot better. Don't tell me he couldn't have done something, especially in a pivot with Xabi Alonso, to have pushed them towards a Premier League title the way he pushed them that night in Istanbul to win in the Champions League. So he hasn't won the Premier League. Can he be up as high as he is? Should he still be there? I'm just throwing this question to you, playing devil's advocate. Would you guys taking that into consideration? Is he still meant to be above the likes of Toure, Fabregas, David Silva, Kante, Lampard, Vieira? Would you put him above all these guys?
Yeah, I would put him above all these guys. Yeah,
you still put him above them.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Fair enough, man.
I mean, I remember that Gerrard slip.
I definitely do. Demba Ba,
literally last bit.
Demba Ba, man, lovely stuff.
That was like the most unluckiest thing ever.
Yeah.
I felt bad as a United fan. Yeah, I laughed so hard, but I felt bad. I really did feel bad.
Yeah, it's peak.
Oh yeah.
Because imagine
I definitely didn't feel bad. Trust me, I
you
was just
spent
laughing, bro.
years trying. Yeah, I mean, I did laugh and make fun of him, but imagine like waiting. I'm pretty sure he played with Liverpool since he's played with them 20 plus years. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
and then
most
not
likely
winning a single Premier
about
League.
15 odd years. Yeah. Yeah,
And yeah,
he gets what he gets, and the feckin' bastard. Anyway, we'll go and I'll take the next person out. By the way, TJ, do you know who this person right at the end is in the Vodafone United shirt?
I can't really zoom in, so wait.
Let me see if I can.
Let me get the. I get the stream of my other phone.
Do you know? I've zoomed into it now. Can you see him? Who is that player there?
I don't have a clue.
I don't have a clue either. I actually don't know who that is. So I'm not sure.
Did you not make the list?
No, it was this list was pre-made, and I looked through the list, and it had all the players I would have put on there anyway. So I was happy with it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a clue who that is.
I just don't know who that is.
well, I'm running out of time because I need to like study in a bit. So
Okay, cool. We'll just wrap up real quick anyway. So, Michael Carrick, where would you guys put Michael Carrick?
I put him B or A or B.
Yeah, I put Michael Carrick
I wouldn't put him
top of B tier.
Yeah.
Won several Premier Leagues.
Yeah, I think B.
Yeah, won several Premier Leagues. His passing reign was crazy. It was just the thing. I think the thing that keeps him out of being in the A tier, because his accolades, achievements were good enough, is I think overall ability stops him from being in the A tier. His ability was high, pretty much world class and maybe he had a couple world class seasons, but he's not. I don't think his level is high enough to be at A tier, but he has everything else to be good enough to be top of B tier for me. Would you agree with that, guys?
Yeah.
Claude Makalele.
The West Ham guys.
That's Joe Cole.
Makalele.
Yeah, Makalele. They call that position the CDM role. They started calling it the Makalele position. If I just quickly tell you about, for example, when he left Real Madrid, the hole that was left in Real Madrid, I remember players in the squad had told the Florentino Perez, do not sell. I believe Zidane spoke to him, said, do not sell Makalele. The guys did it anyway, and their midfield fell apart. They no longer had the person that could literally solidify that defense. He was Kante before Kante. They call that role the Kante role now. Before it was Kante role, they called it the Makalele role. Tackling for days, energy for days, but actually a bit better on the ball than Kante as well. So he was sort of like on the ball slightly better than Kante. I'd say Kante's probably maybe a little bit off the ball better, but on the ball better than Kante's. If I just quickly look at why he won the Premier League, I don't even know how much he would have won. Chelsea. I don't even know how much he actually won there. So he won 2 League Cups and 1 Super Cup. That's it. So he didn't actually win a Premier League with Chelsea. So yeah, English champion, League Cup, one FA Cup, 2 League Cups. Oh no, he won 2 Premier Leagues as well. Nah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm putting him to be honest in A tier. Because his ability in that position was one of the best for CDM, and at the same time, yeah, he's won 2 Premier Leagues, 2 League Cups, and the FA Cup. So yeah, I'm putting him A tier. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I didn't watch Makalele a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've ever watched him, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I'll stand by your opinion.
No worries then.
Based on you, because I think you've watched him.
Yeah, I had watched him. We're gonna just quickly take out one more before we go on to another. So someone that you guys maybe would have seen more. Matt Letizia. I'll just go. Did you guys ever watch Matt Letizia at all?
I've seen
have you seen highlights of it? Yeah, in terms of overall ability, it was just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane ability.
Yeah.
bags of goals, bags of assists, free kicks for days, volleys was his specialty for days. If you watch his highlights, you just see him just literally, they used to flick the ball up to him on the volley. He just slapped the free kick into the top corner every single time. That was ridiculous. Wasn't one of the players that really wanted to be the best. He just had God-given talent. Where I would place him, I put him ahead of Pogba, below Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
Because he,
I think so. Because I don't think the Prem was the same standard back then as it is now. I think it's a lot more difficult now. Like, I think these people, I don't think they would have struggled, but I don't think they would have gotten as many goals.
Like, I'd put Xabi Alonso ahead of him because he won the Champions League during his Prem career. Obviously, he didn't win anything with Southampton. He just, just doing whatever. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind that playing for a big team comes with different pressures. Would he have done as well as he did for Southampton if he was playing at Liverpool instead, for example? I would argue that he would have still, but he never won anything of rep. He never played for a big club. He was just amazing in a smaller team.
Yeah, I agree.
I say there's a good place for him. Joe Cole. It's time at Chelsea, time at West Ham. I didn't actually see too much of Joe Cole. I know he would have won stuff due to his just being at a good team at the right time. I know he was a very good player, but Joe Cole, I'm putting him in C tier, top of C tier.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Wasn't Joe Cole a striker?
Joe Cole was a
bit of a winger, and
it's weird.
He went into more of a midfielder role near the end of his career when he was starting to
it looks
lose his leg.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, he probably just put him at the back of C tier if we're talking about him as a midfielder, not his sort of marauding.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know.
Yeah, I don't even know much about him myself, especially not. I know more about the.
Wasn't he part of the treble winning team?
Treble? No.
Yeah, the treble winning team.
Nah, treble winning team. He didn't play for Man United. He played for West Ham United.
Oh.
And also Chelsea. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna slap him at the back.
Strikers then?
No. In his younger years, he used to be an attacker, but he became a midfielder in the latter years.
Oh, fair enough. I thought because I swear there's a striker Cole, Man United treble winning team. I'm probably getting mixed up now. Andy Cole,
Andy Cole. So we'll quickly go through another one now. Emmanuel Petit, he partnered Vieira in midfield for both France and also for Arsenal. He's an invincible as well, along with him. CDM, he held the midfield more. He was more defensive than Vieira, giving him obviously that freedom to move forward and do what he did, the damage he did in the final third at times. Obviously he's won the FA Cups, he's won Premier Leagues, gone invincible, like I said, League Cups, won it all, to be honest. World Cup as well, but we're not really looking at that. I would actually put him below SCN in terms of Premier League career, but ahead of Xabi Alonso. But I think being invincible is a bigger achievement than having won a Champions League with Liverpool. Especially, although I think Xabi Alonso is a better player for sure than Petit, but in terms of Premier League career, Emmanuel Petit did more.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'm just going to take out the big one now, which is Paul Scholes. I'm just going to talk about him pretty much before we kind of quickly wrap up.
Got it as well. I mean, I don't think there has to be a discussion about this. I think he just instantly go.
He's instantly in the GOAT contention.
I go for A for me behind Gerrard.
He would be in A for you behind Gerrard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Scholes.
Yeah, Paul Scholes.
No, I'd put him GOAT. I'd put him GOAT as well. I'd put Gerrard and Paul Scholes GOAT as well.
There can only be.
I think Gerrard.
There can only be one person in GOAT tier.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I think Gerrard was better than Scholes was.
What I would say actually,
Scholes had a really good team. I think Gerrard had to play more with a less a lesser team. Scholes always had these really good players around him. Gerrard, there was times where he was the main man, but like for months and months and months on end. And he was the main man for a couple of years. Like Scholes, United weren't as good without him, but I don't think I don't think we struggled without him. I think we still won matches. Without Gerrard, Liverpool would have nearly fallen apart.
I'd agree with that, but then isn't it easier to look like a big fish in a small pond than look like a big fish in a big pond? Because like you say, Paul Scholes was surrounded by Roy Keane, Andy Cole, later on Van Nistelrooy, CR7, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, Jaap Stam, all these names, yet everyone still never stops talking about this guy. It's much easier to fall into obscurity when you're playing around players that everyone knows your levels above than when you're playing against people that everyone around you is on your level, yet everyone's still looking at you. That's a lot harder of a thing to do, in my opinion.
I get your point.
But I'm gonna make this list. Wow, this little poll here for GOAT tier, just so people can wrap it up in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, Paul Scholes is in GOAT tier for me. That's where I'm gonna put him. I'll change things after the poll, but I'm putting him in there. Just if I just quickly finish my last point on Paul Scholes, just gonna be he started off his career as a 10, moved into becoming more of like an 8, finished as a 6. Guy literally retired, came back, and it helped Man United to win the title. That's how good he was. At the time where he retired and came back, which was around sort of 30, maybe 38 or 36 years old, around, I think maybe about 36, I think is when he retired and came back. He was 36. I remember, guy was scoring headers versus Man City, dictating the play versus Man City at the age of 36, having come out of retirement. At the same age, Gerrard in the MLS, Lampard, MLS or retired. At the same age where this guy was still winning Premier Leagues coming out of retirement. For me, that shows levels and the difference in quality between the two players. Even without any legs, he was still like the best midfielder on the pitch without any legs. So that for me is why I would put him there. Because when the physicality of Gerrard waned, he wasn't able to meet up with Premier League standard. When Lampard didn't have the physicality anymore to make those third man runs and find space to score goals, he wasn't good enough to be in the Premier League. Without any legs, this guy was still good enough to win Premier Leagues. So that's the levels difference. That's why I put him as my GOAT personally. But I leave it to the poll anyway. And the other guys, this was the end of Ruud Gullit's career, so he didn't do much in the Premier League. I'll just put him. He's only really there because overall he's won the Ballon d'Or. He's a phenomenal player, but he didn't do much in the league. I'll put him at the end of C tier. This is what's this guy's name again? He currently manages a team. Forgot his name.
Is it the Ipswich manager?
Yes, him.
I know he is. He got sacked.
I know who he is.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Fuck, man.
Oh. Kieran McKenna. Oh
no. What the fuck? No, it's not that.
No. I'm about that.
Oh my god.
I can't remember his name.
What's his name?
Anyway, I just put him at the back end of B tier. So I put him ahead of Pogba only because he's won league titles, and also I put him ahead of Matt Letizia because he's won. Fuck that. He's not ahead of Matt Letizia. Actually, no, he is. He's won Premier League. Let's be serious. Let me do that. He's won Premier Leagues. I put him behind Xabi Alonso because Xabi Alonso's a better player and he also won the Champions League. That is our tier list. In terms of what I see from the poll, who's winning the poll, Gerrard 1 vote, Paul Scholes 1 vote. I can't even vote, so it's not even down to me. But that is the tier list, people.
It's Paul Ince.
That's it. Paul Ince, yes. Paul Ince. I'm just gonna quickly shuffle A tier in terms of where I would put it. If I was to make my final tier list, I would actually do this. I'd have it be Paul Scholes there. Then I put Gerard De Bruyne, Gerard De Bruyne, Roy Keane. No. Yaya Toure, Roy Keane, Vieira, Fabregas, Silva, Fabregas, Kante, Silva, Lampard. Fuck. Ooh, I don't know. Actually, I don't give a fuck. He can go, but he can go over here. He can go ahead of Silva. Actually, no. Yeah, he'll go ahead of Silva behind Kante, and then everything else is calm. That's how I put my A tier personally.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty much it. We'll be back again with another sort of video coming tomorrow. We'll talk about it. I'll drop a post for the viewers so they know what we're gonna do. But thank you guys for coming on again, TJ and Worthy. Love for the support again.
Thank you.
All right, then.
No problem. Thank you.
I'll let you guys get away and do whatever you need to do and enjoy your evenings, man.
Yeah.
All right, safe, my people.
Safe. All right.